Welcome to the General's Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rise of the Reds. We are really keen to be here because it's not just Rise of the Reds. It's Rise of the Reds with Rikerzzz versus DustinRhodes.
The dream? Is that the dream? I believe that's the dream machine.
The dream is size versus rage on Rise of the Reds, but, you know, we're not too sure if that'll happen. It probably won't happen. But this is as dreamy as we can get. And these are two players that I've played with Rikerzzz a fair bit, and I've casted Dustin a fair bit. So I'm somewhat familiar with these two players. In case you're unaware, I'm a huge Rikerzzz fanboy.
Are you a big Rikerzzz fanboy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I attend all of his concerts.
Nice.
I have a couple of band posters.
Do you have his shirt or?
No, not a shirt.
Okay.
No, that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
No. Maybe.
Okay, so this is the outpost. It actually does stealth.
Scout post.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rise of the Reds. This is it's very different. We casted another game of Rise of the Reds. So I guess we won't really be explaining a lot of things anyway. If you haven't played it, it's quite different to 0 Hour. It has a few different mechanics and a bit of different counter system. It's worth checking out if you like new content. This is Russians, of course. We have introduced the factions. Rikerzzz is playing as the Russians, and there's no generals in this. Not yet, at least. Apparently there will be.
Cool. Oh, really?
Yeah. Down the line, at least. But for now, Dustin's going to be the China.
He will be the China.
Yeah. Also, bear in mind, Blake hasn't played a lot of this.
Not a heap, no.
Do you know what this unit is?
It's a minigunner.
Yeah. You have to deploy it.
Yeah.
Has really long range.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably obvious, isn't it? But yeah, it sets up. It's good defensively, obviously, because it's not very mobile. Good against light vehicles and infantry alike. Against Russia, though, I don't really see it having much use. But anyway.
Well, at least to like the capping that we see coming out. So Rikerzzz got a quick scout down, and was that an early prop that I saw from DustinRhodes?
Early prop?
Center, bottom right corner.
Okay, but remember in Rise of the Reds...
Oh, that's your original tech,
There's
tier 1
two
tech.
tier structures, so it's not a big deal. So this is the volunteer squad. They're kind of like angry mobs. You have the bazookas, the rifles, so that they're pretty much just China angry mobs. They're pretty awesome. You do have to lock in a general's point to actually get them, though. And what's the response to this? There isn't really anything here. There's a couple of conscripts and the conscript RPGs, but they have no chance against this volunteer squad.
You need a bit bigger mob of conscripts in that situation.
Yeah, there's Tunguska, however.
Decent, but it's a really nice mix here with the Battle Masters as well as these squads. Solid, really good additional starting push here from DustinRhodes.
The ideal counter would be the aircraft, the Hellion. Having to rebuild the barracks, having to rebuild that's actually his tech structure, the weapons bunkers. It takes down the power, the forward barracks. This is a very successful push here. Meanwhile, on the side, though, Rikerzzz got both the oils.
Ooh, solid caps if you can hold on to these ones.
Great for the CC as well.
Wow.
And I think that's why Rikerzzz couldn't deal with this push, because he invested so much in the oil cap, and Russia, as it is a pretty slow faction. So the early game can be a bit tricky. Losing the power for now, trying to rebuild the war factory, but won't be able to with the volunteers there. And this blob is getting bigger and bigger. But now we actually have 3 Tunguskas, we have a couple of APCs. Probably going to be enough though. You can't crush them for the record.
There's only one battle master goes down.
Yeah, the Kodiak's there as well. Having to retarget the volunteers, they do automatically focus the smoke shells.
Oh, the Tunguskas haven't been focused down yet. There's still one up. They're focusing the Kodiaks.
Yeah, that was not a very good choice here. The Kodiak does have a machine gun, but it's pretty bad, especially compared to the Tunguska, or whatever the hell that is, the APC thing. And now the conscripts are coming out too. So he did hold the attack there. Meanwhile, on the side, volunteers doing some aggressive work against the supply trucks.
Yeah, the mining
a Tesla tank.
Oh,
these are really good against infantry.
Fun.
I think that's why he went weapons bunker. We wanted to rush that out. This should be the ideal count. Well, not ideal, but it should be a really good counter. I would say again, ideal would be air units, of course, but. Yeah, see, that's the thing is with Rise of the Reds, is air units are actually part of the counter system.
Yeah.
There are some units that you just can't really counter without air units. And at the same time, though, then you have heavy anti-air, so it's pretty interesting because in 0 Hour, air units are generally pretty tacked on. I think for China, they're
more like supporting.
Yeah, for China at least, they kind of have their place, but for USA, it's just like, oh yeah, I have an airfield. What's the point of that? I can't build Humvees for my airfield.
Useless.
So there's 4 Battle Masters. Isn't actually a 5th though, so won't have any Horde bonus. And they're weak somehow. So he's going to be attacking Kodiaks, Tesla tanks. Probably won't go too well for him. It has the repair vehicle as well. Also recovery too. So dropping in, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh, that's a spy plane. That's just, it's a scouting ability from the China. And that's going to be a helicopter thing.
Han gunship. To make a Star Wars reference, slap you.
What?
Never mind, my friend.
Oh, right, Han. I was thinking of like a plane that's Han, and of course there's a character called Han.
There is a daily character called
Derp.
Han. That was I think it was a really good, solid initial push from DustinRhodes. The Battle Masters were enough to deal with any early Tungustas, and then on Rikerzzz, really hard to pronounce. I'm just taking a stab, the biggest stab possible in the dark here.
We're casting Rise of Nations, which involves
Spy
a lot
missile.
of Japanese words, and now there's lots of Russian words.
And it's just not my thing. Europe is not my thing. And anyway, yeah, and we saw there was a good combination from Rikerzzz because he had enough of the Kodiaks to... Oh, no. Oh, finishes.
He dropped the napalm bomb as well, so and the nuke bomb. So it means DustinRhodes has teched into not only the volunteers, but also the nuke.
Yeah, a few mortar shells going to be coming down here as well.
The Nukeneer, yeah. So you have to actually unlock the Nukeneers with the general's promotion. So
A couple of points being...
See?
Whoa,
Tesla
Teslas,
tanks,
bro.
They're good against infantry. They're not amazing against tanks, however, but against infantry,
amazing.
Yeah, they're damn good. Getting the Vet 2 from that. So I wonder if we'll see some aircraft come out again. Air units are an integral part of the Rise of the Reds matchup. Of course, we have the Hans gunship, as we pointed out earlier. So a pretty aggressive game so far. Looks like it has been slowing down for a bit, but at the moment there is the old Derek here, as well as the supply. So, or even a 4th supply. So
wow.
Rikerzzz is the player that might want to consider pushing out to prevent this 4th supply from being effective. Bear in mind, in Rise of the Reds, you can rebuild oils. So that you can actually repair that. Great feature, in my opinion.
Definitely. Plus, we don't have to hammer around about how our opponents aren't destroying all derricks as much, which is a lot of fun. I like this play from DustinRhodes. He realizes that Rikerzzz isn't going aggressive, and he probably has not the superior army. And then, as I say that, our large friend...
So this is the heavy anti-air, anticipating some kind of stuff. This is going to be a huge engagement. The nuke cannon is set up and ready to go, firing a shot. Oh man, look at that nuke shell! The RPG, the conscripts are flying into the air.
Lordy.
The full retreat is being sound. Not a big deal, because again, the conscripts are really cheap. They cost 50, so not as bad as we would perhaps think. But even then, did lose a few of these tanks. So really want to get some air units now, but there's already the anti-air. What is it? The bullfrog, the Twin Fang.
Set up anti-air.
Has to deploy, and he has the support of the bullfrogs. So
like the sun, my friend, like the sun.
Well, the animation on that, the effects on
How
that
beautiful is it?
Fantastic.
Probably my favorite part about Rise of the Reds, actually. It's aesthetically pleasing as hell.
It is, and it's the same with Shockwave.
His army can't run far enough away from the nuke cannon.
But now he's going to the helipad.
Get to the back of the base?
He recognizes that this nuke cannon is a big problem. It's a slow army. Russia is slow. But then how does he deal with the Twin Fang? There's actually the Hans gunship as well. And another nuke shell fires. Does a fair bit of damage there as well. And now the anti-air's coming through. We'll drop the Hans gunship. The Battle Master's now doing some good work. Kodiaks will be trading shots. And the nuke cannon
get another shot off
is
in
he
a sec.
within range? Yeah, there we go. But it goes for the conscript, not the ideal target.
Takes out a bit of the infantry. That's nice.
Nukeneer as well, but
yeah, Nukeneer.
Not maybe the best targeting there.
Oh, Tesla's going to be coming in. That can take out the nuke cannon.
Yeah, we'll go down. So, and now that's going to be the Hellion, the helicopter there for the Russians. So not the best engagement, but now three more nuke cannons.
But they don't have a lot of frontline here. These shots are going to have to be on point.
And there's no anti-air as well. So the Hellions are great against infantry. They have the splash damage. Actually dropping in a few of these conscripts right on top of them.
I'm not sure how much damage they do.
Well, there's not for long. They won't do much anymore.
Lordy.
Again, the sky is being littered with dead conscripts. And the Hellions going back in. Unfortunately, DustinRhodes, now he's reacting with the Twin Fangs, but it's going to be too late. Loses all three of those nuke cannons.
They are not cheap.
See, this is what Rise of the Reds is all about. There's actual counters and unit composition being a factor. In 0 Hour, it's just you spam the same units over and over again. But now the Twin Fang is opening up.
It's already Vet 3. You need to take the Hellion. Yeah.
Oh,
Needs to
lose
get,
it.
lose it to the Twin Fang. That's unfortunate. It was Vet 3 Hellion as well. Probably the fastest Vet 3 I've ever seen go down. Apart from maybe, I don't know,
The Tesla tank that got Vet 2.
Toxin Rebels taking down
Overlords,
Overlords, so...
Okay, dropping in more of these troops. These are the mercenaries, I think? Oh no, whatever they are. Has a little APC there as well. So they're elite troops. No anti-air though, unfortunately. So these Han's gunships already set up. Looks like the supply may actually get taken. No, it barely survives this one. Yeah, there's a few call-in units like that, such as also the Angry Mob Insurrection, that you need to counter with air units. So you can't neglect air units, unless you're GLA. But you know, it's GLA. They're different. So yeah, the game is still pretty even. I love how Rikerzzz has the scouting on the sides. What are they? The Mishka. They're the scouting units on the side, giving him a fair bit of vision. Scout missile comes down as well. So there's a few Han's gunships now. Twin Fangs, Battle Masters. What about Rikerzzz though? Recovery vehicle, Tesla tank, Kodiak. Oh, he's going for his tier 2. That's his secondary economy. That's the arms dealer vans or whatever they're called. Arms. It gives you money.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know, folks. And it is actually garrisoned inside of the industrial plant. So we'll have some of that. Let's see if Dustin has any hackers. Okay, there we go.
See a couple coming out. That's the internet center going down now. 2 barracks will mean lots of production.
That's a Lotus.
I don't think there's any stealth detection.
No, there isn't.
I
So
see.
stealth detection is a little bit harder to get a hold of in Rise of the Reds. As Russians, your best bet is the conscripts with the infrared goggles, and there isn't any of those. You can also then get one of the defensive towers. These Kodiaks, the Kashchins. I don't think they actually detect stealth. So,
okay.
Yeah. Again, stealth detection is not as abundant as what it is in 0 Hour. We're kind of everything stealth detection.
But I think this is a good thing when you don't have a lot of stealth units, and it's like, yeah, it'd be fun to at least try and get them to use them, unlike in 0 Hour where every man in his tunnel gets revealed.
So the Lotus isn't really doing much. Maybe waiting for an engagement to distract the army, but either way, don't want to stick around for too long because sooner or later we'll probably see Rikerzzz throw out some conscripts.
I think Lotus might just be looking for an important shutdown here.
Oh, there goes the anti-air. Doesn't even get any of the... Oh, so it gets one Han. So sniping the anti-air, very important. Now the Hans do have some free reign. The Tesla tanks opening up on the Battle Masters. The Battle Masters are cheap and they're not very powerful. Oh, there goes another drop of the conscripts. And Boris, that's the commander.
Yeah.
Lotus is still here in the base though. Now the army is distracted and drawn away. That's what DustinRhodes was waiting
she's
for.
Gonna go for something.
We've got to be careful of being near the barrack. That's where the conscripts will spawn from.
Boris is having a right old time in the middle.
Well, not for long. New cannon opening up.
Oh, goodbye, Boris.
Yeah, catch you later, Boris.
Oh, the spy missile actually...
No, it doesn't kill it.
Oh, okay. Did a fair bit of damage to the nuke cannon, though. Lotus going for a safe capping position. And is that a mine drop coming down, or...
I don't know. What was it? New... Wow.
Wow, that range is insane.
Oh, it's a mine drop. Oh, maybe
It
get
was.
both of these grumbles. Lotus going for now for the command center. The command
Perfect
bunker.
timing here. So much distraction going on, and then DustinRhodes caps behind that.
Oof, well,
Rest in peace.
rip that MiG.
I think that...
Yeah,
oh, wow.
See,
Did DustinRhodes think he took them out, or...
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he must have with
How'd
the
Lotus
mine.
go?
See,
Sell.
Rise of the Reds, it has pretty hard counters.
Boy.
Bear in mind though, these units actually have a minimum range. So if you park a helicopter over it, it won't be able to fire. I think these do. I know the Twin Fangs do at least. So you have to kind of space them out, or at least have a Gatling tank supporting.
These conscripts running around looking for Lotus?
Yeah,
or?
they are with the IR goggles.
Fun, fun, fun. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, this is a pretty
I'm
fantastic
enjoying
game.
this.
I'm glad we finally got a really good Rise of the Reds match. I think this is a pretty high tier match. These players are having a really impressive game across the board, and I love how we see them swapping over their compositions, going more aircraft, more
Lotus?
anti-air, and oh, there we go.
Ah, she
yeah.
was revealed. What was that just got thrown down? That was another CC, wasn't it? I thought you might be looking for the double CC cap. Double command. Oh yeah, double command bunker cap. Cap the first one, sell it off. Cap the second one, sell it off as well. Punishing for those support powers.
Defensive line of the Gatling cannons, and there's also then the Cashtons. I forgot what they were called.
A couple
already.
of twin fangs in the base of DustinRhodes as well, in key strategic locations. He has one on the internet center.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
in that area.
Oh, you can put your hackers inside listening outposts,
cool.
and they stealth too. So gives China China a bit stronger late game income. So
More safety for the mobility for the hackers as well, which is
Yeah.
quite important.
it's hard to say who's ahead here. I don't really know. I mean, it's looking like DustinRhodes because he does a lot of hackers, but at the same time, you know, there's a fair amount of those arms dealer
Still there.
trucks. I mean, we might start seeing super weapons come out soon. Riker's on 3k cash, Dustin's about 4k. So at least our players, they're not really floating up much resources either. They're keeping on top of their macro for the most part.
A lot of the middle has been mined out in favour of DustinRhodes. That's something else to mention. Rikerzzz really hasn't had a slice of it. Which, I guess means in terms of overall income, DustinRhodes is probably ahead here. He's been trading well. I'm not sure how he's going in terms of upgrade advantage. Doesn't seem to have a lot. I mean, neither of our players really do. Russia's kind of got the standard ones. Goggles, cap.
Mr. I think that's an artillery unit. I'm not quite sure.
I just love spy missiles. It's very Russia, isn't it? Just
It is very
crashing a
Russian.
missile down to see what's going on.
Okay, Boris looking for some more action. We haven't seen Lotus in a while, have we?
No, we haven't seen her come back out again, at least. We haven't seen her be rebuilt.
Yeah, see, Boris has that rocket launcher.
Just having fun with the pack. Boris could be nice against these nuke cannons as well if he gets in a nice
Oh,
position.
here we go.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh,
Direct
machine.
shot. Two
Uh-oh.
Teslas go down. That's another new cannon as well. He
Oh,
can't
no.
advance into these new cannons. Retreat. Right, because there's nothing
Boris,
for you here.
you have a job, man. Just go kill the nuke cannons.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point as you mentioned. Boris is going to be a good counter. So he, once again within range of the nuke cannons and dropping on top of the Gatling tanks as well. Man, Rikerzzz just can't penetrate these defenses, can he?
Yeah, this
but
would be-
Boris, in range of the Gatling cannon. Nuke cannon
takes
may
that one
have
nuke
to
cannon.
aim, but he's actually going to be cloaked for now. Doesn't one-shot them.
Run, run, run!
Running for his life.
Run, Boris!
Boris is very scared right now. There's two nuke cannons waiting for him. Maybe he doesn't know the second one is there. Yeah, so now he's going to
Yeah,
auto-fire.
Boris.
And,
Goodbye, Boris.
Oh. Oh dear. Either way, the Hans was there.
I'll give him a 10 on the triple backflip, though.
Are those nuke bombs? Wow. I don't know what plant those.
I'm unsure.
Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, other than that...
I'm not exactly ingrained in the ROR.
Oh, I think the early warning outpost, this thing I'm pretty sure is detection. So it's going to give him anti-Lotus. Oh, well, yep. Anti-air working as intended.
Yeah.
What is that? The
grumbles, yeah.
Just trying to remember all these names.
Ones that survived earlier.
Again, this is a big tank. The
There are
golems.
too many mods for me to remember all the names of these units. All I have to know is Boris, and I'm happy. Come, Boris. I get another. Come on, Boris.
Oh, Boris.
Boris, what are you
Then
doing?
his Battle Master escape. Okay, so now we have a very big strike. There's 4, I think, incendiary bombers. Yeah, dropping off a payload of something incendiary. It's a lot of fire.
The base is getting
That
demolished.
is more fire than you would
There's
like.
the
That would
EMP as
definitely
well.
burn your toast at an uncomfortable level. Didn't do too much though, did it?
Took out 3 or 4 units and almost destroyed the war factory.
I wonder why he called in the EMP. Maybe if he had
I
some
thought
Hans as a follow-up
I
or
was
something.
thinking the EMP was an initial one to make sure there were, in case there was a grumble in the back, and to take out the damn it, too many Russian names. The anti-air.
Kalishnikov?
The Koshkov.
Pavlov?
Boris.
Ivan?
To take out the mobile. Yeah, there we go. About time you picked up on my thing.
that,
The cash
the anti-air.
Yeah, the cash down, but the it came in a little bit too late. Timing
Like
of generals.
it's pronounced Kalishnikov.
Okay, my mistake. I'll have to work on that for you, machine.
So maybe if you use the EMP first
That's what I was
to
thinking, yeah.
keep the tanks idle, because then they would have burnt to the incendiary.
That's
but
what I was thinking.
that was deadly, man. Riker's having to rebuild a portion of his base and leaving those burn marks.
Yeah,
May want to also repair his industrial plant and his weapons bunker.
Different generals' powers have different call-in times and flight times, obviously. Like the artillery strike, for example, takes a while to come onto the field. So if you're going to do a carpet bomb artillery strike, you're going to call the arty strike in first and follow it up with a carpet bomb afterwards. Got to work on the timing there. Oh, there! Damn, that's unfortunate. He was looking for nuke cannons, but there were none there.
Doesn't really hit the mark, does he?
That was where nuke cannons were stationed previously, though.
Man, these hackers are getting out of control. What are these? Oh, they're small troopers. Yeah, they're the garrison clearers.
clearing.
Yeah, there's a lot of hackers here.
A lot of hackers.
I mean, there's still more of the arms suppliers, is what they're bloody called, for Rikerzzz, but I mean, it looks like he is falling behind. If I
run
do
out of
say
space
so.
for hackers in a second. And I like not only the defensive line of the Gatling turrets, but also the also having all the twin fangs inside the base. Any lingering anti-air, any lingering air units are going to get demolished.
Wow, this thing.
Wow, tanky man, the Hind. Yeah, Hind. I knew that one. It was obvious just from the look of the thing, but crashes to the ground.
So this is a Shenlong. This is basically it's
a KVA,
dragon tank meets an overlord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
fun.
It really can be described that simply. So dropping off some more conscripts here. Once again, there is the Gatlings and nuke missiles continuing to fire. Even more units are being paratrooped down. And now we see everything dying.
Unsuccessful.
This is not working at all.
Not inside minimum range or anything of the nuke cannons. Just didn't work out.
That's a regular overlord now. So Dustin is really holding on to his base. Rikerzzz, man, what do you have planned? Like, what's the game plan for Rikerzzz?
Bro, more hackers. Just don't have enough hackers out hacking the internet.
I mean, they're a bit vulnerable, so maybe if he gets a lucky bomb here. I know Russians, they do get the father of all bombs, which is, it's a big bomb. Could be considered large.
Your descriptive powers never cease to amaze, machine.
My vast command of the English language.
Yeah. Which is what I love about casting with you.
Dustin's slowly moving up forward, is actually going for an engagement.
That and the cool aesthetic minds.
But now he's away from his nuke cannons, which has been carrying him pretty hard this game.
It's a bad time for a counterattack, though. After crushing several of the armies, this would be the time. Nuke cannons have taken out Boris 2 times so far. Can we get a 3 for 3?
Oh, that's the arty. But
arty for
mine's
arty
bigger.
Here.
Oh, but
nice.
nice.
Yeah, nice stuff from Boris.
With conjunction of Boris, does get the kill in the nuke cannon. Looks like he's going to have to turn to engage. Rikerzzz, for now, not quite doing it. But the Boris, he's so strong. This long-range harassment, it forces you to engage. And now Rikerzzz cutting in, trying to ambush the Overlord, turning to engage now. Kodiak up front, and this Golem's going to be pretty powerful here. Meanwhile, the Shenlong isn't within range. That was a nuke cannon, but looks like it did a bit of friendly fire. Boris still chipping away with his bazooka, but here come the Han's gunships dropping their nuclear payload. There we go. More nukes. He doesn't have the nuke cannons, but he certainly has
the base.
the
EMP
bomb.
The EMP goes down.
Still the long-range anti-air, the Grumbles, being a bit of a no-fly zone for these Hans.
That's what DustinRhodes gets for leaving the safety of the nuke cannons.
Yeah, maybe if they were a bit more forward, but...
Or maybe if you just had more hackers.
Oh, here we go. What about this?
Uh-oh.
Spy missile. What's that? Oh, that's the father of all bombs. There we go. That's a big one. Not quite enough to crush the army, but it gets the supply, opens up... I mean, the supply wasn't doing anything though anyway, but it opens up the middle, catches the army out of position. Boris still firing rockets. He'll get a kill eventually. There we go. Vet 2.
Oh, good stuff.
That's going to help him quite a fair bit here.
That's what you get for killing overlords. This could be a chance for Rikerzzz. He can actually build up an army and push out away from nuke cannons.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of anti-air, so maybe it'd be a good time now to go back for some Hellions or Hinds. Because, yeah, there's just a lot of nuke cannons, a lot of Hinds.
There are about 4 twin fangs that can be requisitioned from the base, though.
These Grumbles are just wrecking these Hinds.
Well, what's coming in there?
That's
another
dropping off some more conscripts.
Straight onto the nuke, and that's better. Inside minimum range is what you want.
Nice. gunning them down pretty fast here. The nuke cannon not quite fast enough. Oh, just kidding! One survives. There's one
Can it take out the
lone
nuke cannon?
conscript, but no, the Hans shows up.
Okay.
Imagine the PTSD that conscript would have had, losing all of his buddies.
I'd be on the floor with my head in my hands machine.
He
It
should
would've
not
been a great
reproduce
time.
after that.
Wow. Okay then.
This is turning into a pretty awesome game.
It definitely is.
MiGs on the way.
Okay, I hear MiGs.
Alright. How much income? I just want to see DustinRhodes' income for a second.
But he's not floating. That's impressive.
yeah.
He's managing his macro completely fine, and still no super weapons for either of our players.
I would like to see a couple of MiGs on guard mode as well. Just for the hell of it, in case Boris sneaks by, for example.
But there's not a Gatling cans. I don't know if they reveal though. I can't remember. Okay, so there's more missiles. Oh, we got some hackers.
Hackers,
That's
nice.
a start.
It's a start.
It's only a small group of
I
them.
don't
but
think you realize it's like, yes, they took out hackers. It's like, do you know how many hackers there were? Or
Okay, so these are actually the VDVs. These are much more powerful than the conscripts are. They have rocket launchers, again, in minimum range.
Gat there as well. Seems like a mistake from DustinRhodes. Not a good setup. Loses the Twin Fang and the nuke cannon as well.
And now you may get more of these Twin Fangs that are undefended. There is a Hans, and these don't have anti-air, I'm pretty sure, so that could be a bit of weakness. Meanwhile, all the volunteers coming back in, I have no idea what that is.
Must be scouting, unless they're... I thought they might be going for the grumble and then they decide not to, so... Oh yeah, here we go. Oh!
Gets
Just
through?
survives, yeah. What's it?
Or maybe those are invincible, I'm not sure.
I think it was just mine
the
drop.
mines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more mines.
This battlefield is littered with mines, and these VDVs are still here, but the Hans comes in, and there's not really any chance of turning that around.
They took out another Twin Fang though. On the right-hand side next to the airfield.
Oh yeah, you're right.
there we go.
More hackers, more hack vans. Yeesh. I think you can also build hack vans. They come with...
With hackers inside.
Yeah.
I was looking at the cost efficiency
Oh,
of
Boris.
it. I'm pretty sure you don't pay very much for the vans. It's like a couple hundred or something.
Yeah,
like that,
I think
so,
it's just easier
yeah.
to macro.
Yeah.
It's just easier for the player, less clicks required. So now there's going to be another push from DustinRhodes. Boris is going to be, doing his thing. He's going to get heroic now. No, still not vet 3.
Needs to kill another overlord.
Nationality
clearly.
bonus. There's the uranium and
Okay.
it has all the
That's
upgrades.
where the money's been going from DustinRhodes into the upgrades.
They're fast now, aren't they? Taking down the Grumble, the Vet 2 Grumble, the slow Russian army
but
chasing after them.
It's a dangerous size though.
The Sentinel tanks are just too much of a match for these overlords. And this looks like a pretty bad engagement, but the nuke cannon actually firing. But against the Sentinels and the Grumbles, or not the Grumbles, the Golems.
Oh, Boris is going to go for the nuke cannon as well. We're just going to
Nice.
open the army up.
Very important work, and getting a bit of friendly fire still.
That's
so
a bit of a mistake.
yeah, and now the giant Russian tanks are slaughtering these puny, minuscule, peasant, plebeian Chinese tanks. Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Dropping more conscripts too as well. So Dustin on the retreat, building another war factory. Yeah, I feel like maybe Dustin is being more aggressive than what he should be. Perhaps he should just consider going for some nuke missiles to close the game out.
Would be nice. Given the amount of income he has, why not go for them? It'll force Rikerzzz into aggression, running into nuke cannons, for example.
Boris, man.
Boris, man.
Carrying the team.
There's the heroic.
Well, those arties, they're no nuke cannons, but they're still quite effective.
DustinRhodes, I hope he doesn't throw this one.
Well,
It's a decent army from
is
Rikerzzz.
driving directly into the Sentinel tanks.
That's a instantly strike into the base of Rikerzzz.
Oh, yeah, it is. Gets a fair bit of stuff there. Gets the Grumbles, maybe
He'll
the
kill
War Factory.
with that.
But either way, how can he hold his base? Doesn't have a lot of units left.
Slow
and
the production.
The nuke cannons just aren't really damaging these Sentinels.
Sentinels were an excellent choice.
Boris sneaks through. Maybe Dustin should just be spamming the tank hunters. Or volunteers, I think, is a good choice as well here.
Boris goes down.
Oh,
Quadruple black flip this time. The nuke cannon is successful. I don't know what's up with this EMP follow-up every time from DustinRhodes. I'm not sure what it's achieving. Oh,
see, these volunteers doing some good damage, but going to be running through the radiation.
that'll take them out pretty
The
quickly.
Sentinel does does survive. Important to keep that alive and repair that one if possible. Yeah, infantry are pretty important in Rise of the Reds too.
Oh, wow. This could take out the new cannons.
Oh, dropping in the VDVs.
Oh, all these new cannons are going to fall.
Oh, well.
Minimum range. I thought that was inside minimum range. It wasn't.
It gets a few of them. Yeah. And now these hackers are looking pretty exposed. Once again, the Han's on point. So you can tell DustinRhodes is leaving these Hans in a defensive position, waiting for the drop of the conscripts or the VDVs.
Still a fantastic engagement there for Rikerzzz. He takes out 3 more nuke cannons.
I guess that's probably why we aren't seeing infantry, because Tesla tanks are just kind of wrecking them. Yeah, I really don't know what Dustin's best bet here is. Father of all bombs comes through, does get a lot of these hackers, it would seem.
Yeah, everything that was on the ground there, at least 5 or 10 hackers there, plus 2 hack vans, I think, were in that area. Much better placement. Now the Rikerzzz have actually scouted the area. He takes out a lot of the income from DustinRhodes.
It's a lot of mines.
It's more than your average amount of mines machine.
Oh,
another nasty strike. Barracks and heap more units as well.
DustinRhodes has a lot of cash, though.
There we go.
The propaganda airships. I don't remember what they do. I think that they give a buff.
Even with all the hackers that have gone down, DustinRhodes' income is still crazy. Have you forgotten the grumbles, Dustin?
Yeah, apparently.
Don't drive past the center of the map.
Yeah, I wonder how effective these propaganda airships will be against these vetted
Teslas
grumbles.
can use that to take out the mines. That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so dropping in some conscripts, but they get crushed by these battle masters. Oh, what? He's capping the the breeder reactor? He may actually get it too.
Will he get it?
It's gonna be close.
Crushes.
No, he's still there. He hasn't crushed them. He hasn't crushed them. He's left them. What is he doing? There we go. Whew. That was a close one.
Make me jump out of my seat, Dustin. You gotta be careful, mate.
This Mishka's still here.
It's all about the scouting. All about the scouting machine. To make sure that Rikerzzz has the knowledge that he needs. Still, all these vans up and running. Is the MP? What's this gonna be? More mines. Grumble's dead.
If it stays still, I think it's gonna be fine.
Or if the mines get cleaned up. Which is what we're seeing here.
It doesn't damage their own units though.
I just clears them.
Well, there you go.
The more you know, ladies and gentlemen, the more you know. The longer this game has progressed, I think the more I've moved away from my microphone.
Yeah.
I just keep leaning further and further in, and my voice keeps fading.
I think the post-resource screen is going to be massively in the favor of DustinRhodes, but doesn't seem to be able to
translate that into a win. I think the internet center's actually taken a bit of damage. Should repair that one.
Yeah, it has. These supply trucks don't really have much more to do. There's no supplies to collect.
And the weapon upgrade's been down for ages, so might as well contribute to these engagements. They did a lot against Battle Masters, but it's more the moral support for the RPG conscripts. We can help as well. Still a lot of hackers. That's another thing you got to remember. Yeah, veterancy on the hackers is a big deal.
What is this?
What is this?
What's that all about?
What are you doing, Dustin? I see hackers not hacking the internet. It's not their day off. This is communist China. What do you think you're doing? Get back to work. Whoa.
Yeah, I guess the Teslas, because the Teslas are actually quite weak, whereas these golems are pretty strong. Same with the Sentinels too. But now going back in for the engagement.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
He doesn't know the size of Riker's army though. That's something to remember. Has some support powers up as well, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, dropping in some conscripts, and that's going to be fronting the engagement, it would seem, but maybe a little bit off time. Wow, a lot of Han's gunships come through. We'll be advancing now with the army. There's some Grumbles firing in the back. These Han's going to get shredded.
New cannon's firing on the wrong target here. It was focusing backwards. It needs to be focusing these Tesla tanks.
Going back into the engagement now, but there's just nothing left. DustinRhodes' army is just... Where did it go?
Do we have the Grumbles rotating forward?
They don't...
Yeah, they don't need to. They're still firing at this range. Fully heroic.
Propaganda airship.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Too many grumbles, man.
The comeback from Rikerzzz is insane. He can push through and win this game. Hackers don't do damage against these big tanks, my friend.
Oh, that's like a double barrel for these arty.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
It's intense.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. New cannon's there, but it's not as scary against Sentinels as it was against conscripts. And there's even Hellions mixed in.
There's an EMP that's going to delay the
Ooh, that's
push
nice.
here. But where's the follow-up? I mean, the new cannons have already gone down.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with DustinRhodes. He hasn't really timed his support powers well. He hasn't used them in conjunction with his army or to snipe the army, just kind of thrown them in to kill some buildings and not really achieve much. Where in these big engagements, imagine if an EMP went off. It's gone off now, but what is it actually doing?
Yeah, imagine if it was used, 5 minutes earlier. Sorry, about a minute earlier when the army was running in.
Internet center's down. All these
many
hackers are now
hackers.
exposed. The Sentinel's actually getting pretty low. The Vet 3 Sentinel, the Harms will kill it. And now his Vet 3. Hellions, though, doing a lot of damage
One
with
of the
their
Twin Fangs
rockets.
sends up. I think it took down one Hellion. Should see the rotation forward from these Grumbles, but I guess they don't want to get caught out of position with all this veterancy that they
Yeah,
have
this
up their
Harms
sleeve.
is killing everything. See how powerful air units are? If left unchecked.
No anti-air in this area. That's what happens when you don't move the Grumbles up. Bit of a misplay from Rikerzzz forgetting to move them forward.
But either way, these Hellions are doing just as much damage.
Oh,
is being
MiGs
called
though.
in.
MiGs will take them out.
Yeah, MiGs jet planes are a really good
And
anti-air.
the Twin Fang sets up.
See, jet planes are the ideal counter. Better than ground anti-air, but the incendiary, good counter to MiGs as well, apparently. See, Rikerzzz has been using these support powers exactly when he needs to, and for good effect as well. Getting that airfield down was the biggest threat for his Hellions, for his arty, for everything that he had left.
It's looking like it's probably going to be the GG here as well. Rikerzzz with the insane comeback. DustinRhodes, he needed the nuke cannons, the nuke missiles, and he needed to stall out with nuke cannons. It could have worked. The Sentinels were so late.
Yeah, he had a huge lead in economy that I think he could have just camped and gone nukes, but pushing out against Russia, it didn't really have, I don't think, a good unit mix. I don't know. I'm certainly no expert. I'm not gonna.
Boris, my friend, Boris.
And Boris was really nicely used. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend that I understand this game well enough to know exactly what Dustin should have done, but I'm sure some of you guys watching can leave your opinions and advice about what went wrong for Dustin and what he should have done. But yeah, look at the
100K.
supplies collected.
100,000 supplies ahead for Dustin.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Talk about cost efficiency for Rikerzzz.
Yeah. And that's impressive that Rikerzzz was able to come back from that, even though he was so far behind. And I think Dustin had a fantastic early game, getting those 4 supplies down. Had a good spaced out defensive line of nuke cannons, of Gatlings and anti-air and Twin Fangs and all that good stuff. But I hope you enjoyed this Rise of the Reds game. This was fantastic, and I hope we do get sent more Rise of the Reds games. This was sent by Rikerzzz, so a big thank you to him for that. And yeah, it was a long game, but it was full of action and it was full of exciting plays, and I think that's what we want to see. Long games, they're not always good. If it's just camping for the sake of it, then that's not always the best cast. But yeah, please do send in some more replays, whether it's Rise of the Reds, Contra, Shockwave, whatever it is. Do let us know. If you think it'd be a good cast, that's Callum@generalsgentleman.com. All of our links are in the description. If you want to send us that email, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff.
If you're enjoying our modding content and you want to see a bit more of us, you can support us on www.patreon.com/generalsgentleman. There's a bit more time to foray into Rise of the Reds, into Shockwave, eventually into Contra if we get a good replay one day. I mean, you never know. So things happen.
Patreon.com. You said Patreon.
.com.
No, you just said
www.patreon.com/generalsgentleman.
it's
Okay,
okay.
right.
I'll
I don't know. I don't know if they're going ad lib off my voice or they'll just use the description. Otherwise, people, if you get mad that that's not working, I apologize. Do add the .com.
Well, what did we learn?
That Rise of the Reds is pretty good, and DustinRhodes, if you have nuke cannons, man, don't push out with them. Boris will kill them. So that's what you learn in this particular scenario. And use your general's powers intelligently as well.
Unfortunately for DustinRhodes, China did not grow larger.
Ah.
But rip those conscripts. They paid the sacrifice.
They did indeed.
Anyway, see you guys. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.